Hey dancers and dance families. Just wanted to do something a little bit different this week. Really crossing my fingers that we are getting close to being able to be back in the studio again soon, and that we are setting up for a very exciting recital. I think we are all going to be so excited just to be able to see each other, but also just to be able to celebrate a bit for having lived through some pretty crazy weeks. So, one thing I really have been thinking about and wanting to do is I wanted to dedicate a video just talking about your dancers, things that I remember about them, maybe a funny story or just something very specific about them. Because even though it's been a long time, and it really, when you think about it, I really didn't have all that much time with them. Um, I'd get an hour total with most of them once a week for, just a handful of weeks, really. And it's crazy how much you can learn about these dancers and how much their personalities come out. So I thought it would just be really fun for them to hear a little bit, maybe for you to hear a little bit, since we don't have observation day, obviously. I just thought this would be kind of fun. So I'm going to actually go through my formation and go one at a time just because it's easiest that way. I'm going to start with the tiniest but most mighty, Miss Izzy. Izzy is just, she's such a precious little thing. And I think every time that I come to class, I never know exactly what we're going to be dealing with for that day, because there are some days she's very happy, some days she's very sad, some days she's very shy. And then there are the really fun days where she is incredibly social and wants to tell me about everything. Her and her partner in ballet, Miss Cadence, it honestly, every time that they are partnered up, I literally just, I'm over in the front, and Miss Hannah will say this too. I'm always going, oh, they're so cute, because they literally are just the cutest little things in the entire world. Last thing I remember about Izzy was we talked about baby dolls, and she was telling me about that she had a baby doll at home that she liked to play with. So I thought that was pretty cute. Moving on, Miss Nora is next to Miss Izzy. Nora is just, she is just sunshine and happiness, and definitely more of a mature personality. She does like to share a lot, and I always love that. She likes to tell me about what's going on in her life, or whatever it is that is happening that week. But she's also just very well mannered. She likes to just be kind of that beaming sunshine, no matter what she's doing, just big smiles, very, very sweet to everybody. So I love Nora. She's so great. Next to her is Miss Brenna. Brenna is so cute. Oh my goodness. Just the little, just the little way that she talks. Like, I think that's one thing that always gets me about kids, is that they all kind of have their own little way of talking. And I know my kids all did, and still do. I have one that's, my youngest is 7, so not far from the age of you guys as kids, but Brenna's, she's so cute. She just tell me her little stories. And again, very mature. In class, at least. I don't know how these kids are at home. It's funny too, because I always think my kid is nothing like my kids' teachers say they are, but she is super, just very well behaved. She does what she's asked. She's polite. She's not real like loud or crazy or anything like that. She's just really working as hard as she can, doing her best. Again, very smiley. That one is very smiley too. She's just always kind of happy to be there, which I just love. I love seeing, dancers who are there just to enjoy it, and she really is. Next in line is Mariah. Oh, Mariah. What a personality. Oh, so this girl, there is some funny stories with Mariah because Mariah likes she loves to sit down. She loves to sit down. And so do I, girl. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, I know. I would love to take a rest. But I think it took her a while to kind of figure out that, oh no, we don't sit down unless we're actually doing something on the floor. But I'd be like, Mariah, what are you doing? And then she'd be like, and she'd stand up and it just killed me every time. Because it wasn't like she was doing it, because she was naughty. She just was just like, it's time for a rest. We're taking a break. So I always laugh when I think about those stories, especially at the beginning of the year, because she would, as soon as I would call her out and she'd realize that, oh yeah, we gotta stand up, then she'd and stand up. She was really quiet in the beginning. She really was. She didn't talk much and slowly kind of opened up and came out of her shell. And I just really enjoyed, especially like those last like 3 or 4 classes. I feel like I really was starting to get to know her and her personality. And it's just such a fun thing when kids kind of do that and they grow and change over the course of time. So that has been really fun with Mariah. But yes, she's so funny. She kills me. Anyways, moving on. Miss Annika. Oh, Annika. Is she just not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I mean, just the most beautiful smile. I mean, she's got those big cheeks that are just so cute. Very quiet. She hasn't said a whole lot to me, but if I ask her something, she will answer. She does answer. I think she always makes me think of just like a little petite princess. She's like the crown is perfect for her this year. She's just very kind of regal and just petite and adorable and smiley. And she's so good about following directions. We always have her attention. So she does great in class. Just love her. She's adorable. Let's see. Next to her is Kenley. Oh, Kenley. She is almost like, one of those little girls that I can't remember if I think she said she was 5. She's going to yell at me if I'm wrong, but she's like 5 going on like 17. She is so funny. And she reminds me so much of my girls, which is why I think a lot of times I let her get away with things in class because she has that personality where she is a social butterfly. She loves to talk. She loves to know what we're doing, and she remembers everything. She is just on top of everything. And so I always think of her when I get ready to ask a question because I know she would be the first one that in class that would be like, I know. Like, yep, you probably do. So she definitely makes life interesting in class, and her boisterous personality, like it makes such a nice dynamic because we have some that are so quiet, some that are that come in some days and they're not in the happiest mood, and then you've got Kenley who's just, let's go guys. So I love her. She is just great. Next to her is Penny. Oh, Penny. She is just so sweet. So one of the things that I love about Penny, I always talk to her about her hair because she had these beautiful colors in her hair. I don't know if she still does, but she had beautiful like peekaboo teal color in her hair. And I loved it. And I would always be like, Penny, I love your hair. I think maybe she had, or am I thinking of somebody else? No, I think she had purple. It was purple. I just remember we were talking about her hair color a lot, but yes, she is one too that she can be on the quiet side, but she is just lovable and she is super, super friendly to the other kids, just really, really nice and caring and wants to just, take care of other people. I've seen her do stuff like that. There was one time where she got hurt. She fell, and I remember kind of being like, look at everybody, look at how tough Penny is, because she was kind of sobbing, and she, you always hope that that little trick will work on them, and she kind of came out of it, and yeah, she was gonna be tough. And I just remember that moment kind of thinking I was so proud of her, because I don't remember what it was that happened exactly, but I could tell it did not feel good. She was trying to be so strong. But yeah, then the other kids then they all wanted to share their own owie stories, and it was just really adorable. So, Penny, I miss Penny. Let's see next. Elin. Oh my goodness. This girl is a born leader. I mean, she is quiet, but she's very social with others. Like, her and her partner Rose are hilarious to watch, because you look at them at any point and they're like this, like, to each other, and it's just so cute, because you're like, oh, aren't they just the cutest little girls? Like, you kind of remember what that was like when you were that age, but they'll giggle together and stand by each other, and it's just so cute. But Elin, she's always conducted herself very, maturely, and she's going to take charge of things and do what she needs to do. But she does like to share with me, not so that she can show off and share with the class. You always have those that like to, and everybody, I get to go to grandma's today. Elin is more like she'll share things that are going on in her life with me, just, hey, this is what happened. I think she told me one day about a grandparent, I feel like maybe grandmother, that had passed away. And it's always interesting, because as a teacher, your response has to be not shocking, and, oh, well, that's too bad. You know what? My grandma passed away too. Maybe they'll be friends, just kind of talking like that. And she just was like, she really just wanted me to kind of know what had happened in her life. And it just was kind of a sweet moment, and very much her, just got to share this with you, because this is what happened. And just, she's such a sweetheart. Moving on. I got to keep going, because I'm already 12 minutes in. Next in the front row, Rose. Oh, Rose. Rose is one that she will test my patience sometimes, and I love it, because it's sort of funny. I know, like, as a parent, like, I get it. I have a couple that test patience, but of my own. But Rose is actually kind of comical about it, because she really is that kid that is like, do we have to talk about it? Can we just dance? Like, let's get to this. Let's do it, because she wants to be moving, and she's there to twirl and to talk to her friends, and let's dance. Let's have fun. So she does like to wander if I get too long-winded, which obviously I do, looking at the time. But she does like to wander, and then I'll be like, Rose, where's your spot? She'll twirl and she'll walk her way back, and how can you even be mad? I mean, maybe you can, but I think she is just hilarious, because I'm like, nope, she's like my little human timer. Like, okay, let's get going. But she is also just incredibly, she loves everybody in class. She loves Marley next to her. She loves Elin. She will talk to whoever she can, and they love her. She's just that magnetic personality that everybody wants to hang out with. So Rose is I'm excited to see Rose kind of grow throughout the years, and just, see what she's like as a teenager, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Miss Marley is next. Okay, so Marley has so many things, so many stories. But she's probably my most quotable kid of this entire class. Her one-liners are just I will start laughing and not be able to stop. And she says it so straight faced, like this girl could be a comedian. She says it so straight faced, and then is kind of like frowning at me, like, "Why are you laughing?" um, some of the best ones are, "This is my," or no, what was it that she said? One of her neighbors. "So and so is in my personal bubble, and I don't like it." I was like, I am going to use that from now on because you've heard people say that, but I've never used it with dancers, and it's actually a really good concept because we do have a lot of dancers that can be touchy-feely, and especially now with all of this happening, it is really important that the dancers understand that we do have personal bubbles and that it's good to have boundaries, But that one really made me laugh because it was just so cute the way she said it, and about Elsa being a liar because she said in the first Frozen that the cold doesn't bother her anyways, but she froze in the second one. She lied. And I just died because I hadn't watched the movie at that point. So I had no idea what she was talking about. But oh, she just was like just mad about it. So Marley gets most quotable because woo, that girl. She kills me. Next is Collins. So Collins is also definitely more of the go-getter personality. She wants to be talking to people. She wants to be moving. She wants to go. She is not going to sit there and listen to a speech, which, by the way, guys, most kids at this age don't want to anyways. It's pretty normal. But she does really like to move. Like, she wants to be dancing. She wants to be twirling. She wants to go. And she also loves to be vocal. So in our dance, there is some vocal cues where they get to yell things out. And a lot of that is for my kids that are like Collins because they love their voice. And I want them to incorporate that into the dance. And I always think of her like when I'm doing stuff like that because I'm like, she will love this. She'll love the chance to just scream whatever word it is that we're saying. Rainbow is the one that I always think of. Rainbow! And she loves it. She eats that kind of stuff up. And honestly, it's really good that we have some that are like Collins that like to move more because like I was saying, like with Rose being like, hey, it's time. We got to keep moving here. Collins is the same way. I notice when she starts to get fidgety, I'm like, okay, been talking too long. We need to keep going. So she's so funny. And my goodness, does she look like her sister? Whew, those two look like twins. I see them out in the hallway and I'm like, let's see. Next, Landry. Oh, okay. So these kids all have beautiful smiles. They really do. And there is nothing more beautiful than watching these little kids smile and just be happy. But Landry she is like high powered, high beam smile all the time. She comes in and her smile goes all the way to her eyes. And I always tell dancers that when they get older, we're trying to get them to use their faces on stage because otherwise that's not very entertaining. But we always talk about having the smile go all the way to your eyes. And Landry could be my poster child for that. She is such a bright, she's smart. She's happy. She is so sweet and so caring and loves to share and just say hi. I just love that about her. She's just really, she's a great, great kid in our class. I really enjoy having her around so much. Let's see, moving on. Eliana. Eliana is quiet. She tends to be quite silent in class. If I ask her a question, of course she would answer it. But I notice that she is probably one of my other stronger leaders. I have like 4 in this class, and I give them jobs in their routines because I know that they can execute them. I either make them center, which is what Eliana is quite a bit. Another one would be like Elin center, and there's a couple that I know they are very on task and they know where they're going. So Eliana she's center in both dances quite a bit because I know that she is paying attention and she knows what she's doing. And she seems like she's a little bit more mature and she wants a job. She wants something to be keeping her busy. She's not necessarily the one that's twirling around and kind of making up her own dances. She's ready to be taught. So, excellent student. Love her. She's just great. Next to Eliana, Jalen, another big personality. Jalen is also, she loves to be vocal. Loves it. I love the fact that she is so, she is her, like she is herself. Jalen is Jalen, and she is not apologetic for it. She is like, hey, I am here. This is what I'm like. She is just like in your face. Love her personality because she just has so much fire. Like she's just go getting, like 100%. She's also very vocal and likes to, like, if you give her a chance to yell something, she's going to be louder than anybody. Anybody. Like she has such a big voice. Love it. She's just got a lot of fire. She's just fiery. Next to her is Soren. Soren is, again, one of my like 4 leader type kids in class. Strong and silent, definitely. She knows what she's doing. She's incredibly good at it. She is very dedicated and disciplined when she's in class. But also I can give her, a job and she's going to do it every time. She's just very mature. I do enjoy, when I ask the kids, do you remember this? Or what does this mean? She is usually one of the first. Kenley will be the first to call it out and she'll go, I don't. Soren will probably already be doing it at the same time that Kenley's calling it out because she remembers everything. She's just very smart. And again, a leader, definitely a good, strong leader. Last, but certainly not least, is Cadence. Cadence is just, she is such a pretty little petite thing. She's just so cute. And like I said at the very beginning of this video, she is partners with Izzy, who is also just really teeny tiny. And those two together, they'll like smile at each other and your heart just melts because they're just so cute. You can't help it. She does not talk a whole lot. Cadence tends to be quiet, but she's always listening. She's always listening, smiling. She'll nod her head if I ask her a question. She's just super, super well behaved in class and really I think one of those kids that I enjoy watching a lot because she is just cute as a button. I mean, I'm so excited to see all of these kids in their costumes because they're just adorable anyways. And so that's why I had to ask you guys, like, send me some pictures because I want to see them. And she's just a cute little peanut. But that is the entire class, Ballet and Tap. I miss these guys so much, and their energy is always interesting because you can come into a class one week and everybody's going to be great listeners, and you can come into a class the next week and they're bouncing off the walls. A lot of times right before we get like a snowstorm, the kids will get crazy. It's just inevitable. And then I have to do like, oh, we're going to play the silent game today. We get stickers if we're listening, but if we talk out of turn without asking, raising our hand and being called on, then we don't get a sticker for that day. And it's funny how stickers can motivate kids. I don't get it, but but they really all have such an important part in the class. I know I talked about a couple of kids being leaders and that's important, but I also feel like it's important that the strong silent ones play their part. They have such an important role. The boisterous, loud, hey, I'm here, kids, they have a role. They keep the rest of us entertained and going, really. You know, everybody has their part. And I feel like you should all be very proud of your children because they all have just such a appetite for life. I mean, they're incredibly vibrant, especially when most of my other classes are brooding high schoolers. So I really appreciate this class just because of the complete opposite of my other kids. I really do enjoy Mondays and getting the chance to see them every week. And this has been really hard. This has been really hard. I think all of us have kind of grieved. I know I've cried a lot on video, tried not to, but it happens sometimes because we're all kind of grieving the loss of time and normalcy, you know. But I just want to, thank all of you for continuing on this journey with us, even while, it's probably not the most convenient. And I'm really hoping that we can make the best out of this year. I'm actually in my house. My terrible ceiling tiles have been bothering me in this video the whole time, but hopefully you guys weren't annoyed by that hole. It's driving me nuts as I'm videoing. But hopefully next time you guys see me, I'll be back in the studio. So it was great to just kind of reminisce and think of some of the things that your kids have done and just their personalities, and makes me really miss them a lot. But hopefully it'll be over here shortly. So have a wonderful week, and hopefully we can maybe see you next week. We're going to really hope and pray that does actually happen. So bye, guys. See you later.